today's video, I'm going to show you guys two little micro adjustments that you could use to get more chokes from the back. So when you have the gi on, they're going to be collar based. So when you have the gi on, you're going to be able to feed that collar through and get more attacks, more chokes with the collar. This would help you out, especially if you are someone that already gets to the back in a sneaky way and you're getting back and you're choking people out. Or, you know, again, if you're rolling with a higher belt, so maybe you're like a white belt, 2 stripes, and you like take the back of a purple belt, a lot of times they're going to be really good at defending a lot of the grips. And so these small little micro adjustments are going to be really useful to helping you getting more chokes. So let's jump into the video. All right, guys, so we're here in a position and we're going to do like, again, this would kind of apply to pretty much any back take situation, but we're here in the sort of mount position where we could go and do a chair sit, like this really basic back take where we do the chair sit and come around. Now what happens most of the time with people is when they do a back take, they do this. Around this way a little bit. So they'll do the back take and they get to the seatbelt grip and they establish position, right? They get the seatbelt, 2 hooks. It's a good thing, it's not a bad thing. But one of the things that I've figured out over the years for my ability to choke people is setting up the chokes while I'm transitioning into the back mount. In fact, if you were to go through my channel and watch some of my matches where I'm rolling against guys like full speed or in competition, a lot of times the chokes that I get don't necessarily happen when I actually have the back and set it up. Most of the time they happen in the transition, and that's where these little micro adjustments are gonna like play into it. So for instance, with the gi, let's say that, and I'm gonna be rolling this way, so like, let's say that I'm going for this back here. I'm doing my chair sit right, sitting back. At this point, instead of just holding the seat belt, what I'm gonna do is as we're going, this hand is gonna open up and I'm gonna feed it right there. So again, what I'm doing is I'm opening up the lapel, and when I open the lapel, I like to have this little collar flipped up so I get a nice lip that I can grab using a 4-finger grip, right? Instead of using just the index finger and the thumb. I can really get a strong 4-finger grip, and now I'm right there, okay? And at this point, you have a lot of different choking options, really easy bow and arrow choke here, the whole thing. So let's look at that again. So again, instead of simply going from the chair sit, holding the seatbelt, once we get to this midway point where we can feel them going, we transition, bang, right into it. And you could drill that right there, just like that, right? So this way you get to that position. And that's honestly, anytime I drill a back take, I always drill a finish to it, whether it's gi or no gi. All right, next one. One more that you can use for the collar. So let's say you get in here and you've got a decent collar grip, but the person defends. This is gonna happen. A lot of people will go back to like fighting the wrists and everything else, which isn't, again, not a bad idea, and sometimes you're gonna need to do that. But one of the things that's really effective is feeding the collar. So basically, instead of simply, watch from this angle first, instead of letting go and starting to fight, we can get here and then we can grab the bottom of it, and these little grips just walking up it. And so a lot of times if we get a really good collar grip and they defend with 2 hands, they can defend, but check this out. I loosen up just a little bit, pull, get tight again. Loosen up a little bit, pull, get tight again. And then before they know it, they're in a position where I can begin to choke. Okay, and so again, going back to it, let's look at them both together. So let's say we're taking the back from the chair sit. It could be pretty much any back take. I'm feeding the collar as I'm going. We get here, he starts to defend. Instead of just letting go, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the collar using the second adjustment. Now I've got that finishing grip on it. Now we can begin to go for a bow and arrow choke or whatever gi choke you want. So that's the 2 little micro adjustments that you can use with the collar grip and the gi. So if you take the back or if you're taking the back, my sort of encouragement to you would be to look to how can you set up submissions as you're transitioning into the back mount. And then from there, if they do, like, again, defend that collar, you can use that feed just like that instead of having to break the grip completely. So that's the idea. Hopefully that video is useful to you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time.